Virgo, hello and welcome, or welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot. We are doing April readings today. I've got the Unfolding Path Tarot here and the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. You know, these are general readings for a general Virgo audience, so it might really resonate with you, or it might resonate here and there. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I invite you to check out the videos for all of your major placements, so your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling, but if you've been here before, you know that I like to fast forward the video over the shuffling part and get right into the reading for you. So I will catch up with you as I'm about to lay out the cards. Okay, Virgo, let's see what the tarot has for us. Oof, Tower. King of Wands, the World, and the Two of Cups. Okay. And for Wisdom of the Oracle, Deep Knowing. Okay. You see that? Okay. Okay. So, deep knowing, let's get that in focus. There we go. You know, the beautiful thing about the Wisdom of the Oracle cards is, you know, they're so easy to interpret. You really don't need the book. The deep knowing is really about your intuition. It's really about that knowing from that place deep within. And it can come for any part of your life. We're going to see in as we go along this reading, this deep knowing can come in different pockets of your life. So for different Virgos, it might be activated in different places depending on the context of where this reading is really resonating. But in general, it's about your intuition guiding you to the right answers, or guiding you to the right people or the right situations, right? So we've got the Two of Cups here in sort of the card of the main energy, and it's so interesting because Leo also got this card in this position. So if you also have Leo in your chart strongly, or if you have a Leo bestie or a Leo partner, this is you should have tea or have a special date night, depending on the situation. But the Two of Cups is all about connecting more deeply with a loved one, or someone you're in a connection with. It can be romantic, it can be platonic, it can be a really cool work relationship, it can be a artistic community, a cosplay community, you know, something non romantic related. This is that situation where you feel really seen, or you develop a relationship where you feel really seen, and where you make another person or persons feel really seen. It's where you get to trust or build trust, where you get to experience reciprocity and be that person for somebody else or for other people, where they get to experience reciprocity. It's building those deep bonds. So again, for any Virgos that are looking for romantic situations, this is a good sign for, if you're single, putting yourself out there on those dating apps, or saying yes to any social situation where you could potentially meet somebody new. For any unemployed or underemployed Virgos, this is actually a good sign for asking for a promotion or a move to a new department, or putting your resume out there, and finding a better fitting job or a better fitting role at your current place of employment. If you're an artist, this is a good energy for finding a new group to collaborate with, or a new writing partner, a new improv group, something like that, a new choir, even a new bowling league, or it's just other like-minded folks. It could happen in a number of different ways. And again, as we discussed over here, your intuition will guide you to the right groups. So if all of a sudden you're feeling like you just learned that, oh my gosh, there's a bowling league at my local bowling alley, I should check that out. Follow that kind of gut feeling if that's something that excites you or something like that. Especially if you're single and looking. You get what I'm saying. So I'm gonna move off from that energy for now, and let's get to this card, because this one, the Tower, can seem like a scary card. Usually the imagery is kind of dramatic, right? There's usually a figure that's falling from a crumbling tower, but I always think of the Tower as that Rapunzel story. Rapunzel was locked up in that tower by her evil stepmom, was it? And there's that evil stepmom that's been in the news lately for having locked up her stepchild. And here in the U.S., where I am anyway, it's all in the news. And her stepson, had to very bravely set his own room on fire to free himself from being trapped. And that was an intensely brave act, and liberated himself from a terrible situation. It's a tragic, tragic story, and hopefully, probably not anything like what anyone listening would be involved in. But this could be a very liberating energy, a breakthrough, being freed from something that it doesn't serve you anymore. So I would hope that when you see the Tower, you can think it can be a liberating energy. Now, sometimes when the Tower card comes up, something dramatic in our life can happen if we don't take personal action to free ourselves in advance of something dramatic happening. And of course, the story that I just shared is really tragic and awful. But sometimes this can come up when we proactively choose to free ourselves from our own power, like when we know we're in an ill-fitting job, and as I mentioned here before, like it's time to leave a job, and we submit our resume and get a good job and can give notice. That can also be something of a Tower moment, where leaving a job is never fun, and giving notice can be uncomfortable, but moving on from a sort of an old life can be very freeing. But if there's a job that we stay in that is no longer serving us, and we really need to move on, and we ignore the internal knowing that suggests that it's time to move on. Well, sometimes maybe our contract isn't renewed. And that can be a tower moment too, when now we have to find a job. That can be a tower moment. So it can show up a little bit over dramatically, or sometimes this card can show up to preempt that that drama. But in any case, it's an invitation to free ourselves from a structure that no longer serves us. Something that may be crumbling or over restrictive, metaphorically speaking. Or for some of you, it could be literal. It could be like you're living in a home that's falling apart, or an apartment, and it's time to literally find a living situation that's healthier. It could be literal, but for most of us, it's metaphorical. It's time for a metaphorical breakthrough. Okay, that said, we have the King of Wands here. Now, for most of you, this is going to be a person. It could be a male person, doesn't have to be a male person, but usually a mature person, is someone that is charming and perhaps a boss or a mentor figure. This could be someone offering you a job, or has could be advice, could have a tip on a living situation or something like that. Could be something like an agent or a director, like if you're one of those creative types that is looking for a creative collaborative situation. With the Two of Cups energy here, it could be someone offering you a role like that. But typically the King of Wands would be a creative leader, boss, director, someone, an authority figure, but like a charming authority figure that can give you guidance, wisdom, a role, a job, something like that. So from after this sort of breakthrough, there is something on offer. This could be a father figure or even a mother figure. This could be a partner, or a sibling, an aunt or uncle that is a safe place to land or has advice, something like that. But for most Virgos, this is probably going to be like a boss or a director or an agent that has something to offer you, that sort of next step. And it would likely be something that is associated with your career, your ambition, or some sort of creative endeavor. Or this could be a coach as well. Okay. And then finally, we have this wonderful card, another major arcana card, the World card, which is very much a victory and kind of next chapter card. So it's really a great sign after this tower moment, this kind of breakthrough and this kind of invitation, which may be a job or a next step. The World card is really a very good indication of moving on, stepping through to the next level, like an up-leveling kind of card. When I used to do like baby showers, I haven't done one in a long time, but this card would typically come up for the mother-to-be, because this is kind of the indication of like a milestone in terms of your role in life. Like when you go from being a single person to being a mother of a human being, that is a significant milestone. This can also come up like when you get married, when you graduate from school. there are just some kind of changes in life that really, or milestones in life that utterly change how you interface with the world. It might not be that dramatic for every Virgo, but this could be the kind of thing where you move across the country, you go to college. It could be something like I said, getting married or getting divorced, changing your Facebook relationship status, retiring, anything along those lines. Less dramatically, it could be going from second chair clarinet to first chair clarinet. Maybe taking a role on a world tour. The options are really endless. It doesn't have to be as dramatic as like getting married or something, but there might be like a smaller step, but like a change, a significant change in your life that feels like you're writing a new chapter, like you're turning a page. And, from here on out, things are going to be different. So you'll know what that means to you, and it's different for every Virgo. But it's a positive change, absolutely. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you liked your reading. I invite you to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Please take good care of yourself. And until next time, bye for now.